Yeah, we're getting bombarded here.
There's holy treasure. There's one. And I would see Frankie. What's that?
This is a crazy squirrel. Close that door.
Close it. Yeah. We see a square out there. We see a square out there.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you? Welcome. This is Alone Together Pittsburgh. I am Patrick Jordan. I'm going to be your host this evening. We've been streaming at you live since early March when the first shelter-in-place order came down. We started the show as a way to keep a sense of community going for everybody during this lockdown period. And though we've moved on to the, I guess, greenish phase of our unlockdownness, we have still been doing the show because we're not back to normal yet, like we said we would. We never expected this thing to go as long as it did. But sometimes something cool happens, and that is this is our 111th episode, and it happens to fall on November 11th. So if you're keeping score at home, that's a lot of ones. That's 11, 11, 11, 1, or whole lot of ones. You can put the decimal point where you are. But anyway, we've been doing this for a while here. So it just so happens that that's how it worked out. Yes, Amanda, that was Pepper at play again in the with the squirrel video if you were watching early on to our animal thing. Anyway, thank you for welcoming us into your homes or mobile devices. We know there's lots of stuff that you could be watching instead, but we are excited. We've got a fantastic show for you tonight. It is essentially the return of Sharon Spell. We are thrilled to have her, writer, comedian. She's going to be here tonight, and Erin Hart's going to be coming in later with some breaking news from the world of farm to table that you're going to want to stick around for. But before we do that, there's a couple things to talk about. One, let's just talk about our in-show poll. Now, because there was an election a little over a week ago, and then it was like up in the air last week, we did not want to tell anyone to vote overnight. We didn't want to say anything. So we are going to be bringing back the Engine House 25 Winery Big Jag Off poll tonight. And I know if you're keeping score at home, there's only 4 left, okay? There's only 4 of these left. We've gone through the entire bracket. So stick around for the end of the show because they're all big ones from here on out. But this is one of the biggest iconic Pittsburgh ones coming tonight. If you've been following at home, you might know what it is. If you look at togetherpgh.com/vote, you can see the whole graphic and how it is there. But we're doing some in-show polls. But before I tell you what the in-show poll is tonight, I want to tell you a little bit about the sponsor of that in-show poll, Engine House 25 Winery. If you go to eh25.com, you can find the entire selection of wines that they have. They are fantastic. I will recommend it, put my name to it, and if you tell them that you found out about their wines from Alone Together Pittsburgh, you'll receive $5 off per bottle. Now, they've got a variety of reds, blends. The grapes come from everywhere from Napa and Chile, everywhere in between. They come in refrigerated box truck, hand-selected, and pour it out for you. It also, the Clemente Museum is also in the same residence as Engine House 25 Winery, so you can see by some of the fantastic labels on the bottles, there is even a Clemente red that you can have there, Clemente Cab, which is killer. But I recommend go to EH25, do it. They're doing free delivery in the greater Pittsburgh area, and they are going to be doing curbside as well. So go to eh25.com and tell them we sent you. You'll get $5 off per bottle. So tonight's in-show poll. There's an in-show poll that we're going to keep up with. We're going to ask you, our viewing audience, to vote for this. Dave, tell them what it is.
Oh, Patrick, it's like all the bad feelings dripped away, dripping down, like right down your pant leg, right? Like a dribble of all the anxieties, all the COVID badness. It's all just is liquefied. It's liquefied, and you're coughing it out, you're spitting it out, it's rolling down, and I feel like $1 million. I feel like this Jag Off is back. It feels positive. We got to do something real. Just, you know what I mean? No hidden subtext. You know what I'm talking about? Just on its face, good fun. Here we go. Pancakes. Pancakes. It's a flap jack off. Pamela's pancakes versus DeLuca's buckwheat. Good for your bum pancakes. That's right. Pamela's. They got the fancy cakes. The fancy French style come Pittsburgh versus the good ones that your grandpa ate. All he ate was buckwheat pancakes and Jack Daniels. And you know what? He was just fine. He did just fine. I don't know what's wrong with you kids. Just eat your damn buckwheat. It's a pancake off. Man, this is like white bread versus wet butter or something. I don't know. We went all American on this one.
All right. Okay, I tell you what. So you get to vote right now. It's only for our show. Our show's only an hour long. You get to vote. If you're listening to the podcast only, audio only version of the show tomorrow, you are not going to get to vote. If you're watching this later, some people watch it on the West Coast. People watch their programs and then come back and watch us later. Oh, wow, the voting's already off the charts here. Okay, Pamela's is off to an early lead. Now, we're saying this is specifically the buckwheat hotcakes, the buckwheat pancakes at DeLuca's. Not just the regular pancakes. The buckwheat pancakes at DeLuca's, it's an experience.
Good for your butt. Good for your system.
I didn't know about it being good for your butt, but I am surprised. But you know what? The people are speaking, and you know what? At the end of the night's show, that'll be it. The winner will be announced. It'll be done. On to the next thing. All right, folks. So get your votes on right now in the EH25 winery little Jag Off poll going on during the in-show here. Dave mentioned something before. We did start the show talking because of COVID, obviously. And I've got some not the best of news here. I basically try not to talk about all the stuff, the national stuff, other states. We try to keep it Pittsburgh-centric, Allegheny County-centric. But today was a record we did not want to break here in Pittsburgh. It was not the Steelers going 8-0. It was us breaking the single 24-hour-day COVID record. 366 cases of COVID were reported in Allegheny County today. So that is obviously trending in the wrong direction. And that is, I think, 30 or 40 more than our previous record from last July. And that's when they were screwing up stuff with the testing and it was coming in late. So it was like a day and a half's worth. So we're definitely trending in the wrong direction. University of Pittsburgh is doing shelter in place for students right now. They had like 75 or 80 new cases from college students on Pitt's campus, but that also leaves you another 280 from across the room there. And I think there were about 5 deaths. So we're trending in the wrong direction. The weather's getting cold. I know it was warm for the last few days. Let's lock it down. The whole political season's over. Put on a mask, okay? There's nothing political about it. It's just science. That's right. Kate Romaine will come to your house if you're not wearing a mask and start pounding you like the old brajol. So get on that. Just wear the mask. Honestly, there were over 1,500 cases since we did our last show. All right, so our last show was Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days, 1,500 cases. That's not good. Okay, so we're about to come to the holidays, Thanksgiving and all that stuff. Doctors just basically begging people to not travel and not go to be with their families. This is real. So we're going to joke around and have some fun here tonight. But please wear a mask because Bruce Springsteen would tell you to do so. He would tell you simply,
Put on a fucking mask.
it's the boss. And he almost says it like he's singing a song. He's like, "Met Mary down to the river and she put on a fucking mask." So you should do that too. Please. Okay, so we're going to get to the show. But before we do that, we have a little PSA, something coming up, because this Friday is Cardigan Day. We want to tell you a little bit about it. Our good friend and friend of the show, Rick Seaback, posted this out there, and we were hoping we could kind of promote it for them. It's happening at QED this Friday. Dave, can we roll tape?
It's time to put on your favorite cardigan sweater, because on Friday, November 13th, WQED is celebrating the work and the wardrobe of Mr. Rogers. What we want you to do is take a picture of yourself and anybody you know wearing a cardigan sweater. Post it on social media with hashtag Cardigan Day. Then on Friday the 13th, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., come by WQED. King Friday's Castle will be here. It'll be his birthday. And kids can get a little kindness bag. Remember, hashtag Cardigan Day.
What's better than that? That's it. Okay, so check that out. Use the hashtag. Post the pictures of yourself in the cardigans for Cardigan Day. What is more Pittsburgh than Mr. Rogers? What is more Pittsburgh than King Friday the 13th's birthday is happening this Friday. So get on that. You got a little bit of time to do that. So please, hashtag Cardigan Day. Put the pictures of yourself or your friends, and they'll all be kind of rotating there on QED. So that's awesome. So Pete, Dave, is there anything else that you guys wanted to chat about before we get to the main course here with Sharon Spell and Erin Hart?
Hey, comrade.
Comrade. Oh, hello, comrade. That's your thing, Diddy. You're very much a communist here today. How you
Well,
doing,
isn't that what's going to happen now? We have a new president. You know, we see what happens in Biden's America already. You know, COVID numbers are spiking. It's all his fault. Like,
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You
Biden's
don't-
America. Well, hey.
I mean, he called it. He told us this is what was going to happen.
I got nothing.
You got nothing. You don't want to go in that. You don't want to go that route.
I don't know if I want to go down that route.
You want to talk dinghies? We could talk dinghies.
Well, we'll talk dinghies. No, we've got a lot of content to cover tonight. I just didn't know if there was something that was burning you, comrade. But yeah, that's it's funny how it's funny how those things kind of happen. I mean, I think the majority of the country has pretty much moved on from this. That the people voted, the votes were in. I know there's a section of them, but I think the number is dwindling, even though that the race has been called, and I feel like it's starting to erode the shock for certain people who were so sure that the election was going to go one way. I mean, hell, I know it. That was me 4 years ago. It takes a couple of days, then you kind of, acceptance sets in. And when you realize we're in a democracy and the people actually have spoken, some of them had to wait in line for 9 hours, but they spoke. You know what I mean? And, shit happens.
Wolf Blitzer finally got a break.
Wolf Blitzer got a break. Okay, side note. There's the guy that does the big board. I think it's on MSNBC. I just read this today. Is it Kornacki or something? I don't know. I don't watch a ton of it. But, like, he was wearing, like, khakis. Like, that's his thing. So they said that he bought his khakis at the Gap, and the sales went through the roof. They were up, like, 120% of those khakis that he wore. So it's just like crazy things happen from this time. So that's my khaki segue. But
All right.
what do you think? What do you think, Dave Mansueto?
Wait, what? I wasn't listening.
I don't know. Neither was anybody at home, which is why we should probably chime in and get to our first guest. She was a fixture here in Pittsburgh, and she left us a few years ago, and it's left a hole in our hearts. She is a top-notch specialist, but she is also a writer and comedian. Here she is, Sharon Spell.
Thank you so much. Hello, Patrick. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy you're here. Your name came up. We were like, we gotta get Sharon back.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much for being here. How's everything in New York City?
It looks a lot like my apartment. Been sheltering in place since March, so I could really be anywhere. And that's what they say. If you could be anywhere here, you could be anywhere. That's what they say about New York, New York.
That's what it is.
They is me. So
Start spreading the news, Sharon.
I'm staying at home. I could be anywhere paying this rent, but here we are.
Well,
It's
you're getting your
fine.
money's worth out of the rent now, because before probably like the whole thing about New York was you could live in a closet because you're never home, right? Everybody, you're out
Correct.
there. There's stuff to do. You're out in the middle of it. So now you're really you're getting your money's worth staying in that apartment.
It's wonderful, actually. Yeah, it's wonderful being in this closet. I'm really
Do you have a
enjoying it.
window?
I have a window. Yes.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So
yes,
you know what the weather is.
yes. It's raining tonight. I have the windows open a little bit. I can hear the kid next door, the subtle tones of him playing his online video games. I assume that's who he's cussing at. I don't know. But he sounds healthy and well. So
And he's probably wearing headphones, so you have no clue what's
I just
happening.
hear, with just
You just hear the
one-sided.
voice, which is
One, he knows a lot of words. That one knows a lot of words. But he sounds well. So that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
that's good.
God
There's
bless.
so okay. So before we do this, okay. So whenever I talk to anybody who's not in the city of Pittsburgh, okay. So you've been sheltering in place, like pretty much. You're not getting your hair done. You're not going out for any reason unless you have to. Like you're going to the grocery store. You're doing the grocery delivery thing.
Going to the grocery store now. We did the delivery thing at the height of it, like April, May, and then it was deemed safer to go out. So we started going out. We, as my boyfriend Jed, we live together, and I go for like a couple walks a week. I have neighborhood friends, and we walk 6 feet apart ish on the sidewalks, and just get some outdoor exercise that way.
On the walks,
Yes.
are other people on the street, passersby, are they wearing masks?
It's a baker's dozen. Some yes, some no, and
Yeah.
I know that's not the right metaphor, but it's,
Oh no, because here it's not quite a baker's dozen. It's more like a baker's three.
but I see people with them and without them, and instead, like it upsets me because I want to stop the spread. Like a lot of people want to do that, and the numbers did go way down for a while, but now, of course, they're spiking. And I want people to be well, and I want to be able to go out again and do things. I like being at home. I'm actually agoraphobic, and after a couple months of staying at home, I lost all of my coping skills of leaving the apartment.
Oh
and
no.
and that's part of why I go out now, because I do expect to rejoin society at some point. And
I'm afraid of that though, of that happening to a lot of people, because I mean, I look at Facebook, I look at these things, and I see people like living totally normal lives, and I'm like, what are you doing?
that's
But like how is that possible? But like I literally never left the house for a while earlier, and then started doing walks and going to a couple of things. But I remember the first time I went, I had to like pick up some mail, and I was driving, and I was like, what is this thing? You know what I mean? Like I like didn't understand. Like I was totally like, it was like a fish out of water experience, and it took me like a couple of minutes to like lock it down.
yeah, and that was me just on my feet, just out in the world. But little by little, like I feel like I'm getting better at being out right now before we all go in lockdown again.
Have you taken the subway?
Not since March, and I feel like that's another big hurdle to cross. And I do have a couple of neighborhood friends who have offered to go on the subway with me when I'm ready. And I feel
to
like
give you like a buffer to like
Yeah,
stay
and
like
just-
a couple of feet, so no one's gonna sit by you or stand by you.
Just-
Just kind of.
well, yeah, somebody who knows me to see me cry, not just strangers on the subway watching me overreact to being on the subway, but like who somebody who cares about my tears. That's all.
Okay.
Well, a few years ago, I had foot surgery and was laid up for 3 months in my other apartment. And the first time I was on the subway after that, I did have like a nervous reaction, and that's just normal city living. I think people have that if they don't have foot surgery, if they're just on the subway.
So comedy, right? Have you been doing like, obviously you're not doing shows, but have you doing like shows online? Have you been doing other things? Have you had any other outlets?
I've done some, but I've made peace with not having a like that Protestant work ethic feeling that I had before. I've made peace with it being okay to not do shows, and that is a different feeling. It feels a little like giving up, but it feels more like picking my battles and choosing where to spend energy.
I'm trying to get there.
It's hard.
Yeah, there's some days I wake up and I'm like, I have not produced a show this long in my life, not like in 17 years.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like this is like a whole new, like what am I? Am I a librarian in the 70s? Because
Yeah.
that's basically what I just was on the screen right there, Sharon. You looked away the second Dave posted that.
No, I did see. I did see. I looked away in awe, like I'm not worthy to see the librarian from the 70s. But yeah, I have thoughts like that of like, am I just like a housefrau now and just putter around and this is this is my domain? I mean, it's not bad. It's just not what I feel like my life's mission is.
Fat Man D's showing you some love, saying that you look
Fat
beautiful.
Mandy. Well, she would know. Thank you, Fat Mandy. Game recognized game.
Oh,
Pretty.
there it is.
Pretty
Okay,
lady.
so let's talk about You're Doing Great.
Okay. This started a few years back. So I left Pittsburgh essentially in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And within the next few years went through a divorce. And then in 2011, my parents passed away. And they died in the same month from different causes. They were still married. They were married 53 years. And I went home from New York City to Mississippi, where I'm from. Mm-hmm. I went home twice in a month to deal with end-of-life care and then funeral arrangements for both my parents. And I was not alone during this time. I have two brothers and a sister. And when I first got down there and we're going through the motions of like, okay, we're going to go do this and then go do this and go see mother in the hospital. And one of my brothers said, we're making this up as we go along. None of us has been in this situation before. And I blurted out, well, you're doing great. And we all laughed at the irony of our misery because we were all like really scared and miserable and terrified. And the thing that we found during that month, because they're all a lot older than I am. I'm just like the little baby newborn compared to them. But I am the youngest of four. And we didn't really know each other. Or I didn't know them growing up. In this month, even though we're all so different, we lost our parents the same way, and it really bonded us. And from this experience, I did what most of us do as performers, and I wrote a one-person show, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I wrote a one-person show, and I performed it around New York City, and I did it in Toronto. And then I moved that into a pilot script.
Oh, like you do.
Like you do. Like you do over time, because I've had time to work on it. And I prepared a little slideshow for those of you who are interested.
Please do.
There's a theater in New York City called The Tank, and it's really great. It's still hanging in there. And a few years back, 2016, they held the Dead Parent Club Solo Show Festival. There were 8 shows in this festival total, and there were a lot of unaccepted pieces. Like there are a lot of dead parent shows, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. But this was, I think I had done this show a few times before, but this was the hour-long show that I felt like was viable and to get up on its feet. But here's the thing about the storytelling show about my parents dying. As proud as I am of it, and I have video of it, I relived it every time I did the show, and that was not a good experience. So I wanted to take from that and add to it like the comedy, the humanity that I experienced with my siblings. And the nice thing, I think in the next slide is I have friends who make comedy like most of us. And this project, Myrtle and Willoughby, is the two people in the front, Georgia and Brittany, they created this and started it. Myrtle and Willoughby is one of the stops on the G train in Brooklyn. and this is Millennial Crimes Unit, a cop show, and it's a web series, and you can see it online. And I play one of the cops in it. And Georgia is the one in the white shirt on the front right. She is a director. So I reached out to her and said, like, I have this pilot now. Actually, I think the next script is, or the next slide. Sorry, there it is. I wrote this pilot in a class, and there's the class, and there we all are with our finished pilots. Look how happy we finished. And so then I reached out to Georgia and said, like, you already made this web series, and their web series, they pitched it at JFL, and it got Best Pitch there in 2018. So I reached out to her, like, do you have some tips on what I can do? And that's when she said, make a sizzle reel. So I think the next slide is me being happy about the yeah.
Yeah, look how happy you are.
Look how happy. I mean, everybody else is happy, but I mean, look how happy. I finished.
So you go down this path. You've got the pilot. It's written. You're happy with it.
And she suggested, instead of making the entire pilot, the entire thing, to make a sizzle reel for the pilot. And so that is what we started in August of last year, 2019. And we have some production stills here. I think this next one is Georgia, and that's Andy Zhu, who is the cinematographer in one of our planning meetings. And it was a lot of the same people from Myrtle and Willoughby. Seriously, like, Google it. It's a really fun show. But there's Ashley Sather there in the front left was the producer, put the call sheets together. Call sheets. That is an art. It makes me insane to look at that.
Call sheets are, that's a tough job, man.
And she sat there. It felt like what it must have been like to watch Mozart compose, just watching her just like fill it like, that's Mozart right there. And she did it. And people showed up and they were on time. And we had 2 days of production, and each day we wrapped 2 hours early, which unheard of. Yeah. And it's really a testament to the team assembled. That's a behind the scenes at Metropolitan Bar in Brooklyn. We used that for 2 locations in the Sizzle. Let's go to this next. And that's just on the street like you do.
Okay, shooting.
Yeah,
got your boom mic. You got your cinematographer, got your DP there.
Yeah, had a crew out on the street. Did we get permission? No one knows, and there's no way to find out.
It's too late now.
Yeah, here we are. And then next is Emily Houston, and I have an art background, but it felt so good to hire somebody to do the art production.
Right.
She added things that I would have never thought of because I'm too close to it, including the name of the bar that I wrote in the script is the Hardy Har Bar. The main street in Hattiesburg is Hardy Street. But she was like, let's make T-shirts. And she just made those at home.
That's awesome.
She's great. She's fantastic. And there's Gary Hannan. He's a comedian and actor here in New York, and he works at Metropolitan Bar. I used to DJ karaoke at Metropolitan Bar. And so he and I know each other from comedy. We gave him one of the shirts to wear, and he is in the Sizzle Reel.
Of course he is. That's awesome.
And then just some signage that Emily put together for background.
Yeah, so you guys went all out with this here.
Went all out. There's a screenshot from the Sizzle with the drag night in the background. That's my buddy Garth Schilling, who plays a drag queen named Vodka Stinger. Doing great with the names here tonight. That's Darrell Hunt. He's very funny. He's Newt, Noont, Newt on Instagram and Twitter. Gotcha. Hilarious. And in the background in both of those slides is the Mississippi hospitality flag, because on the bill this year for the election was changing the Mississippi flag to get rid of finally the Confederate battle flag And one of the proposed flags was this hospitality flag. It is not the one that they went with. The one they went with has a magnolia that says "In God We Trust," but this was an alternate flag and used it. I bought one and used it for backdrop to show we are in Mississippi.
Very nice.
We were
nice.
in Brooklyn. That's also
okay.
that's in Metropolitan Bar for a New York scene. The whole sizzle reel is like 5 minutes.
Why don't
Like,
we
you
watch
know.
the sizzle reel?
Because it's not public yet. I'm gonna have to come back
Oh.
on. We're gonna cliffhanger.
Gotcha,
These are
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
folks playing my siblings right there. Jake Gregg and Brian Foss and
Awesome.
Ken O'Ketchum. They're all Southern. They're from Southern states. So their
Looks
accents are...
vaguely like Tommy Amoeba there in the back.
That is Gary. Yeah. Yeah, the beard does it. Gary's from Boston. I told him his backstory is he went to Hattiesburg to go to school and he never left. So anyway, so that was the first scene of production. And there's
Awesome.
a company in New York called Face Off Unlimited, and they produce a show called Batsu. And Batsu is not currently running right now because of COVID, but it's the Japanese word for penalty or punishment. So when it is up and running again, which it will, get tickets to go see that in New York City because it's hilarious. Like it's short form improv. And then if the competitors don't get a laugh, they get a punishment. So it might be a paintball to the chest or having to eat sushi off of somebody's belly, that kind of stuff. So the next slide is, I think, at the Face Off offices. They were kind enough to let us use their space.
Do they have a sign that says like face off offices?
They should. Face offices? Sure.
Face offices?
Off.
Face off offices?
Maybe
face
I'll make
off
that.
squared?
I'll make it
This is-
for them and just walk it over there.
Yeah, I
Because-
mean
yeah.
that's how to do it. It's also a good job.
This
of the movie.
is Raymond Cordova, who's in Astronomy Club on Netflix. If you have seen that, great. If you haven't, highly recommend. Sketch comedy show, 1 season. They should do a 2nd season, but we'll see what happens. But sweet guy. And then I think I put a few vanity shots in here. Yeah, there she is.
This is how I think you live. When I picture you in New York, this is just like this would be you getting on the
that's me.
subway or with
Yeah,
your head out the window of the
Yeah.
subway.
Whee! I'm here. How New York.
Man, is that Beyonce? No, that's Sharon Spell with
That's
the
Sharon
with the
Spell.
wind machine. She's
Yeah, her knot fell out. And this is Sandy Marks. She was a real life agent for years and years. She's retired and now she's an actor. So I got her to play my agent in the Sizzle.
perfect.
Yeah. And then we could probably scroll through the next day of shots, like this right here, the next day of shots, when you're writing and you just write stuff and you're not thinking logistically or like, how are we going to produce this? You have your writer brain on. So some of the scenes that we pulled for the Sizzle include like a home in South Mississippi, where do we get that in New York City?
Where'd you get that?
This is my friend's backyard. I have a friend who lives in this neighborhood who has a backyard. And we just did tight shots of that door. Sure. That's
It works.
great.
Hey, look, locations are locations. You can't, you don't know.
And that's the response to the door. Like, sure, leaves. We have those in Mississippi. Sure, let's go with that. But then the next thing is an airport scene. And I wrote an airport scene in it because I go home to Mississippi. But where do we shoot the airport scene?
Because the airport in Mississippi.
But look at that. Look
Yeah,
at
all
that.
right. You found it. Chicken wire,
That
barbed
is,
wire fence,
it's a car dealership.
as it should be.
I walked up to the
That's how I picture an airport in Mississippi anyway.
Yes,
It's
and that's-
essentially like a car dealership in Brooklyn.
yes, and it's you enter and exit through gate 1 because there's one gate and that's its number, and there it is, gate 1. Welcome, Sharon Spell. That's the airport scene. That is okay. So moving on, I think
It looks like you got some good lighting. You got some quality shots here.
Andy did a really great job of just doing things right. And this was part of the sticker shock of putting this together. people were flexible, but they also charged what they deserve. And but then it was done right.
Right.
And I've included this because this was really fun for me, for behind the scenes. This was some of Emily's doing for art direction. The photos, the frame photos of me were from my desk in Myrtle and Willoughby
Right.
that she still had left over from that set. And then that photo is two actors playing my parents.
And those are the actors that play your parents? Because
These are the actors. Yeah.
I had to zoom in, but I thought one of those was an actor. I thought that was an Academy Award winning actor.
One of them, the gentleman, was in an episode of Dallas, so not too far off.
Well, yeah, it looks like he may have been in a movie. He might have played Salieri.
Well,
in a little film called Amadeus.
And you'll see the next few photos. This is what
that does not look like him anymore.
But then
I take it back. I'm not even going to say F. Murray Abraham's name anymore.
But you see this?
Oh wow.
That is the Face app that everybody has.
Oh, all right.
That is putting it through the Face app. How brilliant was that?
Because I was like,
Emily's
it's a little
idea.
bit of, like it looks like F. Murray Abraham for a second there from a distance when he's got the little goatee and the glasses, but it's definitely not it's not Murray. But okay, all right, moving on.
And then this is my parents, and that's what
beautiful.
the photo is based on, and that's
I love it.
Joe and Ruth Spell there. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing.
sweet parents. So
All right, so how is
go ahead.
Okay, go on. Sizzle Reel is going to be coming out soon.
So it's done. It
Okay.
got edited. Oh, and my friends had a band in the aughts called Buffalo Nickel, friends from Hattiesburg, and were kind enough to let us use their music for the Sizzle Reel. So
Awesome.
there's background music, production is good, it's edited properly, and it was finished in November of last year. Amazing. And it was like
I can't wait to see it. You're gonna have to come back, and when you're ready to play that thing, we want to play that thing in its entirety here.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a big party, and we can just breeze through the next ones.
There's more. Okay, let's go. Let's go with it. Sizzle Reel watch party.
It's almost done. I just added photos. I don't know.
No, this is awesome.
But yeah, we did people who are stand-ups who do stage performance, like it was Gary and Talia and Sandy. Kendall is from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and she is a nationally touring comedian and opens for Daryl Hammond when he goes on tour.
Oh wow.
And she played my sister in the Sizzle Reel. Talia played my character's, I should say, BFF, because character Sharon is different than Sharon Spell at this point. But yeah, we had, there's Gary. So we had a watch party, had it catered by Chef Millie Peartree, who's been featured in the New York Times and does really wonderful, thoughtful soul food. So we had like a big tray of mac and cheese and cornbread muffins. And then I was ready this year to submit to festivals and then pitch the series. So at least I submitted to festivals.
God, yeah. Oh, it was just like kaboom. Oh.
And so, but you know, of all the dreams to put on hold, like this one will keep. And actually I think it'll keep maybe a little better because like this is not nothing. Getting into 6 festivals and it's just the script that I've submitted.
Right.
The Sizzle Reel is the thing to show like, and this is the flavor of what it will look like and what it can look like. And then like I have a 5-season story arc for character Sharon to go through because it's something like it's beyond my personal story at this point. It's more of like medium-sized fish in a small pond and like a blue fish moving back to a red or purple pond kind of thing of like because I've often wondered like what would it be like if I moved back to Mississippi at this point. And I've gotten to explore that in writing. And so that's where it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you were able to shoot the Sizzle Reel and all that stuff. But we had a playwright, actor, producer, director did like his own like Rocky version of it, of a play that we actually produced with my theater a couple years ago called Small Engine Repair. And they were about to open South by Southwest. they were ready to like they were going to premiere it there and everything. Like they were lined up for all these festivals, and then everything just started shutting down. And he's just been sitting on that thing it was ready to go for 8 months now. And I think they're going to just start showing it at drive-ins. I think just so they can have just a big screen release of it. So it's just this is miserable. So you got in under the wire with it, which is a blessing. You know?
So yeah, that stuff is done, but a lot of our business is networking, and it's hard to have casual conversations at this point.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise, like, can we do a phone call? Well, why are we doing a phone call? What do you because that's what I think. Nobody has said this to me, but this is what I think. Like, what do you want?
I think everybody's like straight with it now, right? Like everybody knows what's going on. I mean, you've got to have distributors. People are looking for content. You know what I mean? It's like a couple of little things are shooting, and then all of a sudden, James Patterson gets COVID, and they shut down the shooting on the Batman, and they like everything just keeps on, like the wheels start turning, and then COVID spikes, and then the unions aren't given contracts, and then they are. So it's it's just a crazy time, and they're saying, if the vaccine works, the best thing it's going to be is like, July, late July. So,
and
yeah,
the most important thing is for people's safety.
Right.
Like the festivals I've submitted to, some of them have had just like only online versions of festivals, and the networking seminar stuff is in Zoom, and fine, that's what we can do, and that's what we're doing. And then some of them have done drive-in versions of the film festivals, because there've been like film version, like I'm submitting a script, which there's no screen part of that. But
okay, question for you, somewhat off topic. Just when you said drive-in, it made me think of this. Do you know any comedians, or have you? I mean, I'm assuming that you have not played like outdoor gigs, but people have done drive-in stand-up. Have you done it, or have you talked to people that have?
I haven't. I have friends who have done shows in parks and shows at, there's a diner not too far from my apartment that has a big parking lot, and they do a drive-in type night of stand-up once a week.
All right, so the car horn honking has to be the biggest throw off for like, you're doing the drive and there's a bunch of cars, right? You're on a stage and then people are blowing the horn, and your first reaction to a horn honking has to be rage or fear.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know
It's
a crazy time we're living in. We're in the Wild West.
I've very gently at the beginning of pandemic said to a couple people, like, I would be interested to do a show like that.
Right. But
then they didn't get back to me, and I didn't pursue it, and I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Right.
I mean, if I get the opportunity, I will try, but just like different things happen for me and my brain and my mental space this year. And I'm glad to be here at all.
Well, we're glad you're here too. I mean, we want you to come back. We got to roll on. We've been talking forever. It seems like it seems like I just said hello to you, and we've been on for a while. So we got to get to our next guest. But if you want to hang out and come around for our send-off at the end, that's cool. If not, if you have to jump, you can do that too. You can just hang in the green room there.
I have nowhere else to be, and I want to hear Erin share her information.
Fantastic. Well, Sharon Spell, you're doing great. You can find out all the information you want about Sharon Spell at SharonSpell.com. At Sharon Spell, is that on Insta and Twitter, I'm guessing?
Yep.
All right, so get it on that. She's hysterical. She's the best, and maybe we'll see her again in a couple minutes.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right. So we're going to move things along here to our next guest for tonight. She's got some exciting information for us tonight about some breaking news from the world of farm to table PA. Let's bring it out here. We buy fresh, we buy local, Western Pennsylvania at farmtotablepa.com. Here she is, Erin Hart.
Hi.
Hey, Erin Hart, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
It's going all right. I'm trying to keep it together.
That's good.
Same as
that was
same
great
as
to
her.
hear Sharon's story.
Oh, she's amazing, and the story's amazing. I'm dying to see the Sizzle Reel.
Yeah.
And I want to read the script too. I want to read the pilot. But
I know with the like the picture of the actors that like as her siblings. I'm sure it's hilarious and sad and sounded
Beautiful. It's just kind of what we want right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've got some stuff to talk about now, right? We're talking about something coming up. It's hot. It's so
Yes.
hot. It's not even on the site yet, and we're gonna
I
kind of
couldn't
break
even
it
send
here.
you a link. Right.
Oh, you're gonna send me a link.
No,
All
I
right.
said I couldn't. I couldn't.
You couldn't send me a link. It's
We
that
haven't
hot.
published it yet. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this virtual harvest tasting.
So back in 2012, someone you might know, Eileen French, helped us put together our first harvest tasting. And it was at Bakery Square, and we've done one every year. So it's always an event where about 50 vendors come, and people come and just sample from all these different vendors, which was basically impossible to do anything like that this year. So what we did was we put together a bunch of products from farms and food producers of, people that we've worked with over the years. And there's another shot if you guys want to cut to the other, do you see that? Hello? No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm here. I'm looking for it. I don't see it yet, Erin.
I'm in the room. Oh, enter there.
Oh, there it's coming. It's coming.
There it is. You gotta hit this. You gotta hit the send.
Always so nervous. Okay. Let me mute.
There we go.
Yeah. Mic is muted. Okay. So this is ghee, which is made from a dairy product. There's herbs from Quiet Creek. There's fair trade coffee from Building New Hope. Olive and Marlowe's fig balsamic vinegar. Whole wheat bread flour from Weatherberry Farm out in Avella. Conover Farm pickles. These are all organic. Three Rivers salsa, all manufactured locally. Raw honey, this farm is out in Ligonier, and Lemon Brothers maple syrup, which is out in Somerset.
Awesome.
Yeah. So all of these products have, I'm going to jump out of this because I can hear it. It's kind of distracting me.
Okay.
These products have, they're all shelf stable. We are also going to have some cheeses and some meats available too, and we'll be doing some samples of Turner Dairy as well for anybody who buys a box. So what we're doing is we're building 20 what we're calling VIP boxes, and we're sending them out to either people that we've worked with a lot that we thought would be really interested in like receiving these products. It's about $200 worth of products, and they'll be unveiling them over the course of from this Saturday, the 14th, through the week of Thanksgiving. And so we'll be promoting tickets. People can buy tickets. We're going to give $10 from every ticket to Sankofa Village Garden and Community Farm in Homewood. So they're just moving there. I'm just going to help them. We're just helping them do a fundraiser. So there's probably 12 other items that will be for sale as well. I just didn't bring them all up to my office. And
oh my God, yeah.
It'll be a way that people can, just try things that they may not have tried. And it's also a way for farms to sell more products. We're having Dave Bracey from Drinking Partners is working with us to have drop sites at breweries and some distilleries. So Maggie's Farm Rum, for example, Voodoo Brewing, people can choose to pick up their box of tasting items at these different sites. So it'll be like a CSA. So you can go on, you customize whatever you want yourself, and then you can say, I want to pick it up at Voodoo, and then go to Voodoo, and Voodoo will have all kinds of, pairings that you could try with it. Maggie's made a cocktail recipe that's going to be using some of the jams that we're getting. So it's just a different spin on it. We will have a virtual event throughout the week of Thanksgiving. We're really trying to promote people buying local, not just for meals, but also for decorations and gifts this year. Mm-hmm. We have a buying guide that's coming out in Table Magazine and their newest issue it's all local products and items that are available locally, just to keep as much money in our economy as we can, instead of going to
Right. We need it here now more than ever.
Exactly. So that's what we're up to at Farm to Table. We're still doing food deliveries. We're working with United Way and 412 Food Rescue to help them with food deliveries to residents in the Allegheny County Housing Authority. So that's happening as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is great. I'm feeling excited. We were here for it. You guys, I mean, you guys have been on top of it since the beginning, even when COVID hitting. You guys have been able to, kind of shift and move with this thing pretty well. You've kind of been, outside the box thinking to move things along. This is a great idea.
Thanks. Yeah, it's also, but as you said, it is like personally, it's exhausting. My kids are going to school here. I'm looking forward to the holidays and having just downtime and kind of and working on this, like the farm to table brand, like by Fresh by Local. It's just like second nature to me. It's like a hobby almost, even though it's part of my work.
Right.
So it just is like relaxing to me. So it'll be nice, just really. I live this. So taking pictures and posting and encouraging other people to engage with all of these local businesses. I mean, people are gonna, as we know, like things are just gonna go back to, hopefully the supply chain issues won't be what we had in the spring. But if the meatpacking plants get, cases, because it's that tight working environment, it's just like a disease that loves, certain situations that aren't good for like mass food production.
Mm-hmm.
So, buying from these local farms, you're sure to get food, but at the same time, you have to have that your own personal sort of like supply chain set up to have those relationships so that you can have access to that food. Because again, as we've always said, it's really hard to find unless you're specifically seeking it out.
Right. Well, this is great. Now, when is this going to be live on the site? When can people, when will this be online that people can like click in and start buying and getting rolling on it?
It'll be live on Monday.
Oh, great.
So this coming Monday, we'll be sending out an e-blast. So next week we can take a look at it and I can show you the site. We will have links to all of the different vendors that we're working with. We'll have the local buying guide also up. So you can click through on links to that too.
So what you should do is everyone at home sign up for the email list or the e-blast on the website for farmtotablepa.com, and you'll get the information as soon as it's live. Boom, you'll get it on Monday. You'll know when to go check it out.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Erin Hart, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Patrick.
Are you going to come back Wednesday with some new information? We'll see how we'll go through the website. We'll drive this
sounds
home.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Erin. And
Thanks.
everybody, go to that website right now. Sign up for the email list and tune back in on Wednesday. And you'll see more from Erin Hart. Have a good night.
Thanks, Patrick.
Sure thing. All right, guys. It's time to check in. I forgot to ask Erin about the pancake situation. Is Pamela still running away with it? Or Erin, pancakes.
I voted for Pamela's.
Okay, good. Okay, that makes sense. They're delicious. They
are. I love DeLuca's too. I love DeLuca's fried eggs.
The fried eggs are amazing. Oh, wow.
So,
Pamela's has been running away with it now.
Well, I mean, when like Barack and Michelle Obama come and eat pancakes at your place, I mean, come on now.
They sent her to the White House to make the pancakes.
I know.
Like that had to be one of the most terrifying things. You're on a different, you're traveling with your batter. Then you're like, you're not getting, if you're buying it there, you're not getting the exact same ingredients from the same places. And it's a different griddle. It's a whole new animal. Anyway. So, all right. So Barack and Michelle like Pamela's. I think we're going to call this one DeLuca's. I would have probably gone for DeLuca's buckwheat pancakes because so many people voted for Pamela's, and I didn't want them to feel bad because I love them both. So there you have it. There. Pete, where do you fall in this?
Pamela's all the way, man.
Okay, buddy. Well, you're not alone. You're in the majority.
DeLuca's, I don't know, like buckwheat. I'm just not like a buckwheat fan.
Have you
I've
had
never
the
been
buckwheat
into it.
pancakes at DeLuca's?
No.
See that?
I've never had a good experience at DeLuca's, personally.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on them. I've never had a good experience there.
I try to talk shit on them, but I just think it's a big pile of shit.
I'm not going to talk shit on them, but it's just a big pile of shit. No. No, it's not necessarily them. I don't know if it's the wait, I don't know if it's the people in line. I don't know if it's the strip district. I don't know. Like, I like the options of Pamela's. You got one in Millville, you got one in Shadyside, they have one in Squirrel Hill, Oakland.
The one in Shadyside was the OG, right? For Pamela's.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think that was the first one, was Pamela's. Pamela's Shadyside. Then I think there was Oakland Strip. There's a lot of Pamela's.
I mean, Michelle Obama has her own seat in the one in Millville. I don't know if it's in all of them. I don't know, but like, that's pretty cool.
At Engine House 25 Winery in the basement, there's an Eddie Vedder table.
Really?
There's literally like.
Did he drink the wine there?
What's
Did
that?
he ever go there?
Yeah, Eddie has a barrel. Eddie Vedder has a barrel. I call him Eddie because I've never met him. But he has a barrel of wine down there, and they have like the Eddie Vedder. Whenever he comes in town, he just basically hangs out in the wine cellar.
Let's keep this about pancakes here, Patrick.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just saying. Like you said, there's a chair. There's a chair.
No, well, there's a chair.
Barack Obama.
It's really echoey down there in the ghost basement, and Eddie goes down there and he's just like,
all right. So that being said, okay, so we're gonna call this one. I think before we start wrapping the show, maybe bring Sharon back. I was thinking that we could. There she is. I think we could talk about the Jag-off poll is back this week, and you've got a 1 in 3 chance of what it is because we're in the final 4 basically. Dave, do you want to tell everybody what the big overnight Jag-off poll is? Iconic.
And we are back, baby! Ladies and gentlemen, your Jag-off overnight poll. It's none other than Beetlejuice himself, Michael Keaton. You know what happened? Christian Bale got on there and was like, how do I beat Michael Keaton? He was just like, I'm Batman. Hey, everybody, I'm Batman. I'm much cooler than Michael Keaton because I talk like this. I'm Batman versus the parking chair, the Pittsburgh parking chair. Everybody knows you hold off. If you don't want to be a Jag and park in somebody's house, don't park in front of their house. I got to put 2 chairs there because somebody's being a Jag and park in front of their house. Michael Keaton would never park in front of your house. He respects it. He don't need no parking chairs. Michael Keaton versus parking chair. We're at the top of the dang Jag-off. We got to get this thing over. We got to get this COVID over so we can stop doing this goddamn show. I love you, Pittsburgh. Have at it overnight. Go!
TogetherPGH.com/vote, everybody. Go to TogetherPGH.com/vote. The voting live, Pete?
Oh, it's live.
It's live. You guys can get in there and start voting right now. The answer will be solved tomorrow, 8 o'clock. The voting ends, and we will make the announcement. A little before 8, actually.
Who do you think's going to take this one?
Oh, man. I don't know. You've got the iconic Pittsburgh parking chair, man. What was the path the Pittsburgh parking chair took? I don't have it in front of me. Was it the sinkhole bus?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's an iconic, like, if anything comes from Pittsburgh, it's the parking chair.
So far, like, giants of Pittsburgh lore have fallen. Kennywood's open, meaning your fly's down. Gone. The sinkhole bus. Gone. The word yins. Gone.
No way.
Look at the poll here.
I'm looking at it.
Check this poll at. All right, we had Sheets versus Get Go, Big Mac versus Teseros. We're moving striking distance versus something. I can't go this fast. It's good, but you guys can go there. TogetherPGH.com/vote. You can see how it is. Here we are right now. The winner of this one goes to will go to the final 4. All right. Wow. So as you can see, the path that Michael Keaton defeated, Jeff Goldblum was his toughest competition. No, Flashdance was his toughest competition. Actually, you know what? Michael Keaton had a hard path to victory here. Jeff Goldblum was razor thin. Flashdance was razor thin. Keaton versus Timmy at Gooski's was so close. And here we are, the parking chair. The parking chair defeated the word Nebby, Michael Chabon, and the sinkhole bus.
Nebby never saw it coming.
Nebby never saw it coming.
Ironic.
So here it is right now. We'll see if people are ready to get voting again after the crazy vote train that's happened. But here it is right now. Michael Keaton versus the parking chair. Only you get to decide, Pittsburgh and world, because this is the World Wide Web.
I voted.
I think Keaton's got this one in the bag.
The parking chair's crazy. Now on the other side of the world on the other side of the bracket is the cookie table. You know. So I mean there's a lot going on here right now. Like this it doesn't get easy for anybody. There's no walk in the park. And Kurt Angle's lingering.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying there's
That's
a lot
gonna be
of
a
stuff.
tough one.
This is what's happening. There's Kurt Angle is waiting in the wings, and there's one more one that has to go to that. Jonas Salk's involved in that one. And then I believe we will have striking distance versus what's striking distance going to be going up against next week or maybe tomorrow. Who knows? We'll
You're
see.
the only one that has this in your brain, Patrick.
It's on the brain, but it's on the sheet. So Sharon, before we wrap up, maybe you can get Dave to help with this here. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about this. But there was a certain song, right?
Is it about Pittsburgh?
There was a certain song about Pittsburgh.
Is it about Pittsburgh being number one?
It was a song about Pittsburgh being number one.
We didn't even talk about this. I'm ready. Let's go.
We did not talk about this. Dave, will you join us here? Because this is the thing. Dave, are you going to hide behind that fake screen? Or are we going to see your
That's
face?
fine. He's hiding in my top knot. That
I'm gonna
camera is
tap out,
actually-
and I'm gonna let this happen.
Nice. Oh.
Who's gonna start it?
Oh, there's no
I think
music.
you're muted, Dave.
Bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba bum ba 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 ba. Dave, are you there or no?
Yeah, I figured it out. We're gonna rip this one, huh?
Riff it.
Rip it like old times.
There's a delay, so make it happen.
It was like three. You ready? You ready, Sharon? You ready to do this? All right.
Pittsburgh is the kind
Kind
of place where you recognize everybody's face, but you don't ever say hi. And if you haven't said hi to your neighbor right now, why don't you take a chance to do that right now? Okay. And
But I really kind of like
get here, sure. Where a joke's a joke, a laugh's a laugh, and a beer is a... How do I know more than you do? And you can leave your pretensions at home.
I'm just accompanying.
As if you want to be having fun. Pittsburgh's number one. For laughing. For loving. For loving. For loving. And for you, baby, baby, baby. One more time. If you want to be having fun.
Dave.
It's close enough.
Dave, take it home.
Laughing. Yeah. Perfect. Prince. That's a Sinatra take. Done.
I was trying to drone so that I could just back because Sharon was killing it. So I was
Sharon's
trying to
killing
just
it. And
drone.
there's like a half-second delay.
Yeah, it's
so there's No
impossible.
way people
It's-
can sing together. at
It
the
is
same
just
time.
impossible. But that
I've
was
been thinking that in my head all afternoon preparing for this. I was like, nah, we won't do it. And then we did it, just like Moon River and Andy Williams. It's
that
so
was
good. We did it.
spontaneous Patrick right there too. I wouldn't have allowed that to happen. The delay is just too profound a delay. But nonetheless, Sharon, you floated that boat.
We did it. We did it. Teamwork makes the dream work. We did it.
No, that was magic for me. You know what I mean? That was like
Patrick, I can see the disaster in his eyeballs. It's real quick to see where Patrick goes. Oh, this isn't gonna work.
We're all
I
geniuses.
didn't think this one through. I just jumped in it. I just jumped in a DeLorean, went 88, and went back in time to have a moment. I thought I was at the Lava Lounge for a second.
You set us
Yeah.
up real nice too. It's like you set that pedestal up real nice, and I just like stumbled through it and fell over.
God.
It was good.
All
Sharon
good.
killed it though.
We should have just traded off verses.
Don't worry.
Hey, let's do that now. Let's trade off verses. No,
No. We gotta pack this thing up.
I'm kidding. Anyway, Sharon, thank you so much
My
for being
pleasure.
with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Pete, what do you got for me? Anything?
Black
Ernie
Lives
Bernie?
Matter.
Okay.
I think I'm on a delay.
You are on a delay, sir. You're on a massive delay. At one point, I thought you were so disappointed at the singing, but you were frozen. And it was just a look of disdain. It was like,
I'm used to it with my audiences, so it felt like I was at home. It was nice.
But you don't ever say hi.
And I know why now. I get it. I can see me now. I got it.
This is what it is. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for tuning in. Please be sure to keep on wearing your masks. Remember, this isn't a new thing. Lots of people have been reminding you to wear a mask in cinema for years. Look, if you want to get back to these days, the Van Damme dancing days, you put on a Van Damme mask. Look at that. This is what's going to... Where'd you pull that picture out from, Dave? Dave, you're like centered in that picture. Ah, it's very funny. It's very funny. You're not going to wear a mask. That's really fun. Now you're surrounded by snakes. Oh, good. Pumpkins. Tommy's pumpkins. So... Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. I was going to go through like different movies, but I've decided to just let Sally Wiggin end the night.
Oh, Sally Wiggin.
When I walk out and there's someone without a mask and they come too close to me, I'm just racked with fear, and then I want to punch them in the face.
How can you not heed these words? We can do it, Allegheny County. We can do it, Pittsburgh. We can do it, United States. Let's lock this down. And you know, in Canada, there's a $750,000 fine for not wearing a mask. Come on. Think about it.
Wow.
All right.
We should close with the four-way face.
All right. Well, let's get old school. This is old school on the show here, Sharon. We
right.
do a little thing called the four-way face, which is going to be extra good because Pete's been frozen for about 30 seconds.
He's back, I think.
All right. Let's see here. Let me get in here.
You gotta like get up, yeah.
Hold on. I got to get in there.
Wait, I gotta get a screenshot. Hang on.
Wait. You're blurry, Dave.
There we go. There we go. We did it, guys.
Yeah, and to anybody who's still watching, I'm sorry, but thank you for
Shit
sticking
happens.
around. Shit happens to stick around. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be fantastic. Kate Romaine will be back with What Kate Ate and some other fantastic surprise guests. So you cannot go wrong with Alone Together Pittsburgh, 8 o'clock hour Eastern time. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Sharon. Don't forget to go to Sharon Spell's website, and we're good. Tomorrow, we're back.
Alone Together Pittsburgh. Thank you. We
What's
did
going
it.
on? We
Turn that stinking camera off.
Wait.
Well, folks, it's been one of those nights. Old Brush Hole here is signing off. I don't know why the tape's still rolling, but we've had some more questions coming in on the chat. We'll probably talk about them tomorrow. If you're still watching, hey, thanks for sticking around till the end of the credits. There's 3 of you out there, and I'm sure one of them's got to be one of our parents. There might be more than 3. Michael Keaton, parking chair. That's right. Get your vote in. Tomorrow, Kate Romaine. That's right. Parking chair versus Keaton. What kind of Pittsburgh do you stand on? Where are you from?